Now, it is very common during the healing process coming out of a toxic relationship, especially with narcissistically abusive people. Part of the awakening, if you will, of the journey is to be withdrawn, not just from the toxic situation, but from people in general. And this withdrawn phase, this phase of willful self-isolation, where you just don't want to be around anybody, this is an important part of your healing, because what's really taking place is a rediscovery, a reassessment of what relationships mean to you. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, not long ago, I made a vlog-style video about having no friends. You can watch this video right here. And now, coming out of toxic relationships, I have experienced this withdrawn sensation, this moment, this time, this period of life where I've withdrawn, I have willfully self-isolated, not just from the toxic individuals that I've dealt with, not just with the narcissist, but with a lot of people. Because I wasn't quite sure on how to relate with them, how to articulate the pain and the struggle that I was having coming out of the toxic situation, nor did I know their place in my life anymore or my place in theirs. Now, a lot of this has to do with the toxic experience. A lot of this is a result of the narcissistic abuse. It really rattles you. It shakes you up because you've poured everything into that relationship. You were everything that you thought you should be. You were everything that you thought all throughout your life that you were. You gave it your all, and it wasn't good enough because to the narcissist, nothing is good enough because they're bored with themselves, right? And so they leave, and you're broken, and you no longer know your place, not only in their life, but in relationships in general. Now, this is an important part of the healing process because as you withdraw, as you work this out inside of you on how to move forward and how to have healthy relationships, you're going to start to rediscover the purpose of relationships in your life. This is the journey that I've been on. And it's an incredible journey of understanding how relationships are best suited if they are compartmentalized. And this is something that I really work with people one-on-one with. In being able to compartmentalize your relationships after toxic, narcissistic abuse that you deal with. What does compartmentalize mean? I'll read you the definition of it right here since I got it on my phone. Compartmentalize means to divide into sections or categories. So what we're talking about is categorizing relationships. Now, we're going to go beyond categories like mom and dad and brother and sister and okay, these are all common categories, and we understand that. But if you understand the purpose of categories like that, compartmentalization, then you know the role that each person has. Well, mom's supposed to be a mom, a dad's supposed to be a dad, brother's brother, on and on and on. But if we take this principle and we dive deeper with it, compartmentalizing your relationships, you start to understand that this principle works on a deep level with how you connect with people. So we're going to take it from just not only there's mom, there's dad, there's brother and sister, but we're going to take it layers deeper, and we're going to look at it in this way. There's somebody who I can share deep, meaningful, insightful things with. There is an empath. There is somebody who resonates with me. And we can compartmentalize that relationship and nurture that relationship with that particular person. Then we're going to have other people. You know, they're fun. I get along with them. We have a good time. But when I try to talk to them about deep things, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay? So we need to create a category for that. Somebody who is good to be a good acquaintance and you can hang out and have fun with them from time to time. But you're not going to spill your guts out and talk about things that are deep in your life because they're not at the capacity. They're not resonating with you at that level. Now, it's important during our time of isolation to start to figure this compartmentalization of our relationships out, okay? Because a lot of us, if we're not careful, we can put too much stress and burden on other people because of our failure to understand their position in our life and our position in theirs. For example, a lot of people, myself included, found it very difficult coming out of a toxic relationship when we would share it with people we thought were our closest friends, and we would get very lame responses. Something to the extent of, well, what did you do wrong? Or, well, maybe they were just joking. Maybe you should go back and have fun. Maybe give them a second chance. How many of you know this is bad advice, right? And it leaves you scratching your head and thinking, wow, they're not good friends at all. And this is part of that being withdrawn, because you're trying to figure out, who are these people? Are they friends or not? The reality is that they may be friends still, but you have not yet put them in the appropriate category in your life. And because of the pain that you've been experiencing from the toxic relationships, you've tried to put them in a category of being a coach for you, or being a therapist for you, or being somebody who is interested in these deep, dark changes in your life, when in reality, they're not. They are there for good times with you. They like you. That's a good time. They don't know what to do with this hurt, healing, in pain person. They don't get that. So they're going to give you lame answers. They're going to give you bad advice. All they want to do is get you back, the you that they know. So I hope what I'm saying is starting to make sense about the importance of being able to compartmentalize your relationship. This is something that I never considered before. I thought that when you meet somebody in your life, that you have a connection, you could be friends, and they're everything. You can share everything with them. And this is just bad. And deep down, I knew it was bad. There was always people, for example, in church that I would be able to share things with that I knew wouldn't get to my friends who are good time friends, right? It's separation. So we need to understand that this time of healing is going to allow us to compartmentalize in our minds and in our hearts our relationships. You're going to have your coworkers. You're going to have your family members. You're going to have intimate, deep friends, and you're going to have good time friends you get together and have a beer with. There is nothing that says that you have to cross-link them and share everything with all of them. It's okay to live compartmentalized in this way. It's okay. I was once listening to a sermon taught by Pastor T.D. Jakes. I used to listen to T.D. Jakes a lot. He had some great insight. He was a very powerful speaker. And I believe he did a discussion, a topic on friendships and relationships. And he said throughout this life, based on some statistic, you'll have lots of acquaintances, lots of friends, but very few and very rarely will you have that close, intimate person. You're lucky, you're blessed if you have one or two very close, the people who know everything about you, your deepest, darkest hurts. This is typically within the realm of a spousal arrangement, the institution of marriage. That's typically where you find that. But outside of that, it's very compartmentalized. And so as we move forward in our healing and we get ready to think about having relationships again, give yourself time, understand that it's okay to compartmentalize your relationships moving forward. Listen, I want to be a part of this healing journey that you're on, helping you to understand these principles further. Down below, you will find links to schedule one-on-one consultations with me. We could do a telephone call. We could do a FaceTime or WhatsApp video call. Or you can request a video that speaks into your situation. You'll find links down below for all of these. Also, you'll find a link to Royal We Fellowship down below, where you can join me Saturday morning for an in-depth Bible study. We are applying the Bible to our understanding of narcissistic abuse and the toxicity of this world. You'll also find a link to Royal We Life chat down below. Everything is down there that you need. So scroll on down there and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Royal We.